Hi, Jules. Thanks so much for attending the kind of panel discussion around job crafting. And we said we'd follow up with a few people based on the questions we had from them after the session and the message board. So 2 questions we asked you. The first is, how does job crafting create a sense of purpose for people in the workplace?
I think by the very virtue that people stop and think about their work, and we're encouraging people to stop and think about their work, actually prompts them to think about, well, what's the meaning of their work and the purpose of their work. So I think there's almost a natural flow from encouraging people to think about what they do on a day-to-day basis, and then there's sort of almost a natural thought catalyst. And I certainly saw that in Virgin Money, where we encouraged some of our contact centre people to really think about their work. And our mortgage application team, I remember one person saying that he doesn't think about his work anymore as just processing applications, but it's about helping people get their dream home.
Okay,
nice. I think the fact that we just encourage them to think about their work in a different way just was a natural progression to thinking about the meaning of their work.
Fantastic.
Does that make sense?
So sometimes, absolutely. So sometimes it's there in plain sight. So you're having these calls on the customer kind of with mortgage applications, for example. So in one respect, you'd think it'd be really obvious, but often we don't get the chance to take a step back and actually think, what's the difference we're making to our customers' our lives in terms of what they're doing. Fantastic. Thank you. So that's the first question I was going to ask you. The second question I have, Jules, is around what advice would you give to HR leaders who are curious about exploring job crafting?
I would say try it out for themselves, first and foremost. I think what has been really powerful for me has been able to tell stories about job crafting. Sometimes it could be a bit tricky to articulate and explain, but you can bring colour to it by sharing stories. I remember, again, at Virgin Money, when trying to influence senior stakeholders into committing to this, I shared with our CIO, our Chief Information Officer, I shared with him my own experience of job crafting, which was purpose crafting, and he got it like that. So I think you have to almost experience it yourself, talk to other people who have done it, hear the stories, and then share those stories. The other thing that I learned as well was I just presented it to one senior executive as just being, if nothing else, a really simple, powerful coaching framework for team leaders and team managers. And again, he got it really quickly. I mean, I would just say it's so simple and it's so powerful and it's relatively inexpensive to do. Why wouldn't you do it, or why wouldn't you have a play with it and try it? So I would say just try it.
So experiment, try it. Brilliant. That's a fantastic top tip. Thanks so much, Jules. And thanks so much again for attending the panel. I really appreciate your time.
That was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.